So in the last class, we were discussing about the internal flow, and in that we have discussed about two conditions. First condition, constant heat flux. We have derived some equations, and as well as for constant surface temperature also we have derived the equations. I will just go through those equations once again, so that you are familiar with those equations. Okay, first one for constant surface heat flux. Okay, QS. Okay, S stands for surface. Constant small q I told you, as it represents the heat flux, which is nothing but heat transfer by area. So, if you know the inlet temperature and exit temperature of the fluid, then you can calculate heat transfer using this equation, where Q is equal to mCp Te minus Ti. Here Q is a heat transfer, M is a mass flow rate, C stands for specific heat, and Ti and Te are the temperatures of the fluid at the inlet and exit, right? See how you are going to apply the constant heat flux over the surface. Okay, you can see the sketch. Okay, around the periphery or around the surface, we are going to apply the constant heat flux. Ti is the inlet temperature and T is the exit temperature. In some new textbooks, they will give T naught also. Okay, T naught or T both are same. Okay, their T naught is nothing but outlet temperature, or T is the exit temperature. And okay, one more equation, the Q, small q is equal to H into Ts minus Tm. Okay, if you want to find what is the surface temperature, okay, at any point, at any length of the pipe, okay, we have to know the what is the mean temperature of the fluid at that uh, particular length. Okay, suppose if I want to find what is the surface temperature of the tube at this point, we should know what is the mean temperature of the fluid at this length. Okay, that means, what do you mean by mean temperature? I told you, okay, the temperature of the fluid at the center, okay, at the center of the tube, it will be different than the surface temperature. Okay, if you take at this particular cross section, okay, temperature of fluid is different at this center of the tube as well as at the surface. There will be a temperature gradient from the surface to the middle of the tube. That is why we are going to take the average temperature or the mean temperature. I told you while I was explaining the boundary layers. Okay, so if you take what is the mean temperature at the inlet, it is nothing but Ti. What is the mean temperature at the exit? At the exit, it is nothing but Te. See, Tm will vary from Ti to Te. If you want to find what is the surface temperature of the tube at the exit, that means at this point, what is the surface temperature of this tube? Then we have to replace Tm with Te, because small q is a heat flux that will remain constant, heat transfer coefficient will remain constant. We have to find what is the surface temperature of the tube at the exit, because the surface temperature will increase as you increase the length of the tube. So what is the surface temperature exit? This is what you have to find. And what is the mean temperature at the exit? It is nothing but Te. Understood? Okay. See, that is one thing. Okay. And also, if you want to find what is the temperature of the fluid at the exit of the pipe, then you know the formula Q is equal to mCp Te minus Ti. See, what is capital Q is nothing but small q into surface area, or heat flux is nothing but total heat transfer by area. So capital Q will be small q into As. If you just simplify this two terms for Te, okay, you are going to get the equation which is there inside the bracket, which is nothing but T is equal to Ti plus Q into A divided by mCp. See here, Ti, Qs, mCp, this almost remains constant. Only the variation is surface area, because diameter also pi remains constant, diameter also remains constant. Length of the tube you can increase. As you increase the length of the tube, the temperature of the fluid at the exit keeps increasing. Okay. Now, okay, here di represents the inner diameter of the pipe, L represents the length of the pipe, and M is the mass flow rate. Okay. How will you find the surface temperature of the tube at the exit of the pipe? Okay, surface temperature at the exit of the pipe, as I told you, Q is equal to H into Ts minus Tm. Here I have written suffix TSE. E represents exit temperature of the surface of the tube. Okay, and Tm will become T. I told you. Okay, and you can just simplify for TSE. You are going to get, okay, so if you just replace Tm with T, what is TSE means? Nothing but Qs by H, and T you take it to the left hand side, it will become T plus Qs by H. Okay, just simplify this equation, you are going to get this. Now, second condition, constant surface temperature. Okay, you can maintain constant surface of the tube or the pipe. Okay, and Ti and Te are the temperature of the fluid at the inlet and the exit of the pipe. So you can use Q is equal to mCp T minus Ti. So this formula is applicable for both constant surface heat flux as well as for constant surface temperature. You can use this formula, and one more formula we have derived now for this constant surface temperature is given by Q is equal to HAS LMTD. So where H stands for heat transfer coefficient, AS stands for heat surface area, okay, and LMTD is the log mean temperature difference. See, how will you calculate LMTD? LMTD is nothing but delta TE minus delta TI by ln of delta TE by delta TI. Okay. Suppose if the surface temperature, usually it will be at higher value compared to the temperature of the fluid flowing inside the pipe. See, Ts minus Te represents delta Te. Here written Ts minus Te represents delta Te. Ts minus Ti represents delta Ti. Once you got this, you can obtain the value of LMTD, correct? No? Because you have got difference of temperature at the exit and the inlet. Once you got this, you can find what is LMTD, and you can also find Q using this formula, and the surface area, you can find what is the heat transfer coefficient using this formula also. And also we have derived what is a formula for temperature of the fluid at the exit of the pipe, Te. Okay, this formula T is nothing but Ts minus of Ts minus T exponential of minus HAS by MCP, where Ts is the surface temperature of the tube. You can see Ts is the surface temperature of the tube. Ti and Te are the inlet and exit temperature of the fluid. Okay, and H, heat transfer coefficient, surface area, mass flow rate, Cp is the specific heat. Surface area we are going to take pi dl. Okay, here pi dl means because inner diameter we are going to take surface area. Okay, so we'll do some numericals. Okay, we'll come to know. So before that, okay, let me explain this formulas which are to be used in see in the heat transfer and data handbook. Okay, page number 123. Okay, you can get internal flow. So earlier we have done the problems on external flow. See, we have to go to the internal flow. Then okay, first again the property, suppose uh, if there is a fluid which is having inlet temperature and exit temperature, we have to take the mean temperature of that fluid. What we have done, no, we are taking the surface temperature of the flat plate and the air which is flowing over the flat plate temperature, and we are taking the mean temperature. Similarly here also, whenever you want to find the properties of the fluid, then you have to take the mean temperature. Mean temperature here means the inlet temperature and exit temperature of the fluid. You have to take the properties. Okay, so for I told you it can be a laminar flow or a turbulent flow. For laminar flow, what is the condition? The Reynolds number should be less than 2300. Okay, and the friction factor has been given here. How to find the friction factor? Okay, friction factor is required to find what is the pressure drop. At that time, you require this friction factor. See, it is given by 64 divided by Reynolds number. Okay, so based on diameter. Okay, so if it is a circular tube, okay, we are going to find the Reynolds number using the diameter, no, because rho Vd by mu. Rho Vd by mu represents Reynolds number. And also, if you want, then the problem, if they sometimes they may ask what is a hydrodynamic entry length. What is a hydrodynamic? That is where the boundary layer is still developing. What will be the length of the hydrodynamic entry length as well as thermal entry length has been shown here. Okay, so 0.04 d Reynolds number to the power of Reynolds number and Prandtl number if it is a thermal entry length also been given here. So entry region, how to calculate an Nusselt number has been shown here. Okay. See, for our this thing, most of the time we will be coming across this Nusselt number will be equal to 3.66. Okay, when the length is very much greater than the diameter for constant wall temperature condition, and also for constant heat flux, Nusselt number can be taken as 4.36. Okay, when provided that Prandtl number should be greater than 0.6. Okay, usually these two values will going to come across in laminar flow. See, in the turbulent flow, what do you mean by turbulent? Okay, if the Reynolds number is greater than 2300, okay, then condition is for turbulent is Reynolds number should be greater than 2300, right? And also friction factor also has been given here, formula for smooth tubes as well as rough tubes. Right? Entry length, okay. Entrance, Nusselt number, okay. Short pipes, okay. This one, Dieter's-Bolter equation, okay. So this equation most of the time we are going to use for flow through tubes. Nusselt number is given by 0.023, Reynolds number to the power of 0.8, Prandtl number to the power of n. See, n will be equal to 0.4 for heating of fluids, n will be equal to 0.3 for cooling of fluids, right? And the Prandtl number should be between 0.6 to 100 and Reynolds number should be between 2500 to 1.25 10 to the power of 6. This formula, okay, most of the times we are going to use for whenever the flow is turbulent. Okay, with this explanation, so let me move out to problems. Okay. So first problem, okay, example you can see a 9.5. Water entering at 10 degrees Celsius is heated to 40 degrees Celsius in the tube of 0.02 meter inner diameter at a mass flow rate of 0.01 kg per second. The outside of the tube is covered with an insulated electric heating element that produces a uniform heat flux of 1500 watt per meter square over the surface. Okay, and in the problem they are told that entrance effect can be neglected. Okay, that means where the boundary layer is still developing, that can be neglected. And we have to determine the parameters also has been, what are the parameters? Reynolds number, H, length, okay, for a 30 degrees rise in average temperature, inner tube surface temperature, friction factor, pressure drop, pumping power if the pump efficiency is 50%. Okay. See, in the problem, what are all they given? Okay. Water is entering at 10 degrees Celsius. That means inlet temperature Ti 10 degrees Celsius. Okay, and it is heated to 40 degrees Celsius. Okay, what the exit temperature is 40 degrees. See, in this book they have represented exit temperature as T naught. I told you T naught or TE both are same. Okay, I have shown you the formula of TE. That is the exit temperature of the fluid has been shown by TE in the formula, whereas here in the book they have represented by T naught. Okay, so 10 and 40 degree, and tube diameter they have given 0.02 meter. Mass flow rate also has been given. See, diameter, inner diameter 0.02, mass flow rate 0.01 kg per second, and as well as heat flux, okay, 1500 watt per meter square that has been shown, given. So this is a problem on constant surface heat flux, because they have given heat flux 1500 watt per meter square. Okay, let us try to calculate the Reynolds number first. So before that, we have to obtain the properties. Okay, I told you based on mean temperature of the fluid. Okay, here the water is the, they have told now in the problem water is entering at 10 degrees. So it is a water, okay, inlet temperature is 10 degree, or exit temperature is 40 degree. You have to take the mean temperature by adding and dividing by 2. 40 plus 10 by 2, 25 degrees Celsius. You have to, in the data handbook, okay. So properties of water at 25 degrees Celsius has to be taken. Okay, I will go to the data handbook. Right. See, property values of liquid in saturated state. Okay, this is in page number 21. Okay, you can see here page number 21. In that water, okay, for temperature, density, kinematic viscosity, thermal diffusivity, Prandtl number, specific heat, thermal conductivity has been given. See, in our problem, the temperature is 25 degree. We don't have here exact 25 degree properties. So you have to go to the interpolation, linear interpolation formula and get the values. Okay. So for 20 and 40, you have to take the linear interpolation 25 degrees Celsius and try to obtain the values. Okay. This I am leaving it to you. You have to do it. So you may get this value rho, K, Cp and mu has been shown here. Okay, rho value is 997 kg per meter cube, density kg per meter cube, thermal conductivity 0.608 watt per meter Kelvin, Cp 4180 joules per kg Kelvin, and dynamic viscosity 910 into 10 to the power of minus 6. See, in the data handbook they have not given dynamic viscosity. How will you obtain dynamic viscosity? You know, kinematic viscosity is nothing but dynamic viscosity divided by rho. So dynamic viscosity is nothing but kinematic viscosity into rho. Okay, you can calculate like this. Understood? So dynamic viscosity is nothing but kinematic viscosity multiplied by density will give you what is a dynamic viscosity. That's all. Right? After you got this dynamic viscosity, you know how to calculate the Reynolds number. Uh, okay, velocity into diameter divided by kinematic viscosity, or it is rho Vd by mu. Mu by rho is nothing but kinematic viscosity. I also told you that Reynolds number can also be calculated using mass flow rate also. So in the problem they have not given velocity, they have given mass flow rate. So also you can use 4m by pi d mu. So in the first class only I told you, okay, Reynolds number is also given by 4 times mass flow rate divided by pi d mu. So Reynolds number, okay, just substitute the values. Mass flow rate has been given, inner diameter, dynamic viscosity has been obtained from the properties. Substitute, you are going to get 700. So what do you, it indicates that the flow is laminar because it is less than 2300. So it is laminar flow, and they have told it's a uniform flux. Okay, uniform flux. Nusselt number, I told you data handbook. Okay, go to the page number 1. For laminar flow, right now, see here, internal flow. First, you have to go to the internal flow through tubes, that is internal flow, then laminar flow. In the laminar, for constant heat flux, okay, you can see here, Nusselt number is 4.36, and also this Prandtl number is greater than 0.6. If you want, you can just obtain Prandtl number using mu Cp by K, right? See, once again, these properties what they have given here may vary with the data handbook slightly. Doesn't matter, in whatever the properties has been given in data handbook, you consider those properties and you can calculate. And small variations will be there. Okay, it's okay. So Nusselt number you have obtained from the data handbook 4.36. After you got Nusselt number, you know the formula for Nusselt number is nothing but HD by K. Nusselt number is nothing but okay, H into characteristic characteristic dimension. Is that here we are since it's a flow through tube circular cross section, we have to take diameter. So Nusselt number is nothing but HD by K. So H is equal to Nusselt number into K by Di. Okay, you know all the values. Thermal conductivity has been obtained from the properties. Inner diameter has been given. Okay, we are going to get H is equal to 132.5 watt per meter square Kelvin. Okay. See, in the problem they also asked to find the length of the pipe. Okay, it was initially 10 degree and it has become 40 degree. So for that temperature rise of 30 degree, what should be the length? Since it's a constant heat flux, you can write Q is equal to capital Q is equal to small q into surface area, nothing but Q pi dl, which is equal to MCP, exit temperature minus inlet temperature. Okay, here TE instead of TE they have written T naught. So it is T naught or outlet temperature of the fluid. Okay, T naught minus Ti. Okay, so what will be the length? Is nothing but MCP T naught minus Ti divided by Q into pi d. Correct? No? Q into pi d. See, M mass flow rate they have given Cp, okay, obtained from the properties, and T naught minus Ti is 40 minus 10 is 30 degree, and the heat flux, okay, 1500 divided by pi times diameter. Pi times diameter also has been given. You can obtain the value of length. Once you got this, inner tube surface temperature at the outlet. Okay, I told you no. Small q is equal to h into this T S naught they have written here. It is nothing but exit. Okay, we have in the while I was telling the formulas, it is TSE minus TE. Then instead of E they have represented by suffix O. So we want what is the temperature of the tube at the exit or at the outlet, which is nothing but Q by H plus T naught. So Q has been given, H has been obtained now 132, and T naught is nothing but 40. You can get the value of surface temperature of the pipe at the exit. Once you got this, next we have to calculate friction factor. Again, it is there in the data handbook. Okay, if you just go to the laminar flow, okay, tubes laminar friction factor. Okay, 64 by Reynolds number. Same thing they have written here, 64 by Reynolds number. So Reynolds number you have got 700, right? So again, friction factor can be calculated. Once you got this, next pressure drop. Okay, you have to remember this formula, delta P, friction factor into L by D of rho U square. Of rho U square. Okay, how will you obtain the velocity? Okay, 4m by pi d mu. Okay, you can see. Actually, mass flow rate is nothing but rho u AC. Mass flow rate is rho u AC. You can use this formula to find the value of velocity also, or you can use this formula. Okay, um is equal to 4m by pi d rho, pi d square rho, or you can use this formula also, no problem. Okay, so just simplify this, you are going to get Actually, what they have done is, mass flow rate is rho into velocity into cross section area. This mass flow rate is rho into area into velocity. For cross section area, what they have done is pi d square by 4 they have written here. Okay, for cross section area, since it's a circular tube, no, so we can write for cross section area pi d square by 4, and what is the value of velocity you can find. You are going to get 0.032 meters per second. Once you got this, okay, pressure drop, formula, okay, friction factor has been obtained, L by di, length also we have calculated, no, length where here 1.33, okay, 1.33 divided by diameter, okay, half rho obtained from the properties here 997 into velocity square 0.032 square. You just have to go substitute the values you are going to get. Okay, once you got this pressure drop, pumping power is nothing but volumetric flow rate into pressure drop. The volumetric flow rate, how will you obtain? Okay, density is mass by volume, or volume is mass by density. So mass flow rate, density, pressure drop, you can just substitute, get the value of this. Actual power. See, this is a theoretical power. What you have got 3.11 into 10 to the power of minus 5 watts is a theoretical power. What is the actual power required means, okay, theoretical power divided by the efficiency, you are going to get actual power required. Understood? Okay. Let's substitute, get the values. Okay. Next. Move on to next problem. Water at 20 degrees Celsius is to be heated by passing it through the tube. Surface of the tube is maintained at 90 degrees Celsius. Okay. The diameter of the tube is 4 centimeter while its length is 9 meter. Find the mass flow rate so that the exit temperature of the water will be 60 degrees Celsius. And also the properties of the water also has been given directly. 995, okay, density, Cp, thermal conductivity, kinematic viscosity, okay, and bulk, I think beta also has been given. I think we don't require this. Okay, and also in the problem they have told that use this relation. Nusselt number is nothing but 0.023, Reynolds number to the 0.8, Prandtl number to the power of 0.4. Actually, what is this equation? This is nothing but Ditus-Boelter equation only. Okay, so they have told that water is there at 20 degrees Celsius is to be heated by passing through the tube. Surface of the tube is 90 degrees Celsius. Okay, so inlet temperature is 20 degrees Celsius and the surface temperature of the tube is 90 degrees Celsius. The diameter of the tube is 4 centimeter and the length of the tube is 9 meter. You have to calculate mass flow rate, and so that the exit temperature of the fluid will be 60 degrees Celsius. So properties of the water has been given in the problem, so you take those values, right? And how will you calculate the first? Okay, we'll calculate the Reynolds number. And so Reynolds number is nothing but 4m by pi d mu. Okay, you don't know the mass flow rate, correct? No, because in the problem they are asked to find the mass flow rate. Reynolds number you have got in terms of mass flow rate, correct? Because Reynolds number is nothing but velocity into diameter divided by kinematic viscosity, or it is rho Vd by mu. Okay, rho into velocity in diameter by mu. Also in terms of mass flow rate is 4m by pi d mu. What is dynamic viscosity? Here they have written dynamic viscosity as nothing but kinematic viscosity into density. Okay, just substitute all the values except mass flow rate you don't know because that is what they have asked in the problem. So you are going to get Reynolds number as 51598.3 mass flow rate. Next, you can calculate Prandtl number mu Cp by K. Okay, mu into Cp by K. Again, dynamic viscosity is nothing but kinematic viscosity into density. Okay, Cp and K, everything has been given here. Just substitute and get the value. 4.02 you are going to get. Now Nusselt number is nothing but Ht by K. Okay, Nusselt number is nothing but Ht by K, which is equal to 0.023. Reynolds number, Prandtl number, powers are there. So H is equal to this formula. Okay, Reynolds number we have done now here 51598.3, that has been substituted. For Prandtl number it is 4.02 into K by D. Okay, K, what is the K value? 0.64. Here they have written 0.64. Okay, diameter when it comes to the right hand side, it will becomes to the denominator. Diameter of the pipe 4 centimeter they have given, no, 4 centimeter is the diameter of the pipe, so it is 0.04 meter they have written. Okay, how you got this? This is nothing but D by K there. When it comes to the right hand side, it will become K by D. So H has been done here. And also, okay, we have derived that equation, no, for constant surface temperature. We have used this okay, uh, that logarithm. That formula has been actually substituted here. Okay, we are, while deriving that formula for exit temperature, okay, you are going to get this formula. Just go through. You are going to get this formula. Okay, H is equal to mCp by pi dl into ln of Ts minus Ti by Ts minus T naught. Okay, actually, what is this? H into As by mCp. Ln of Ts minus Ti by Ts minus T naught is nothing but H into A. Okay, what is this? Pi dl is nothing but surface area, no? Pi dl is nothing but surface area. Okay, so if you take it to the left hand side, it is nothing but H into As by mCp. From that formula only we have derived the exit temperature. Okay, that formula we have used here. So you are going to H also, okay, you know all the values except M. Okay, Cp you know, pi dl you know, surface temperature 90 degree, okay, and inlet temperature and outlet temperature, everything you know. Okay, you have got this equation. H is equal to 3127 m dot. See, E transfer coefficient also has been obtained using this Nusselt number as well as using this formula. So you can both compare. Left hand sides are equal, you can equate right hand sides. So 3781.3 to the power of m to the power of 8 is equal to 3127 m to the power of 1. Correct? So m to the power of 0.8 is there on the right hand side. Take it to the left hand side, it will comes to the denominator. M to the power of 1, okay, divided by m to the power of 0.8, 3781 and divided by 3127. Okay. See here, m to the power of 1 is there, denominator m to the power of 0.8, take it to the numerator, it will become minus 0.8. So m to the power of 1 minus 0.8 is nothing but 0.2. Okay, and simplify, you are going to get 2.59 kg per second. Okay, so I told you now this is a formula of Dietz-Boelter equation, which is there in the turbulent flow. Also they have checked on for Reynolds number value which is greater than 2300. Once it is 2300 greater than means it is a turbulent flow. Turbulent flow. Okay, we will do one last problem before that. So it is a rectangular tube of 30 into 50 mm cross section. Okay, it is a not a circular cross section, it's a rectangular cross section 30 into 50. Mass flow rate they have given 2 kg per second. Determine the length of the tube required to heat the water from 30 to 50 degrees Celsius if the wall temperature is maintained at 90 degrees Celsius. Okay, this is a problem on constant surface temperature because they have told that surface temperature will be maintained at 90 degree, whereas inlet temperature is 30 degree, exit temperature is 50 degree, cross section they have given, mass flow rate they have given. So once they have given mass flow rate, you can calculate the Reynolds number using the formula 4m by pi d mu. Okay, see here, this is a rectangular cross section. Okay, water is at 30 degree entering, leaving at 50 degree, mass flow rate is 2 kg, 30 mm is a 30 mm by 50 mm. Okay, is a cross section, right? See, we need to calculate the hydraulic diameter. How will you do it? Hydraulic diameter is given by 4 times cross section area by perimeter. Cross section area is nothing but 30 into 50, correct? No, this cross section area is 30 into 50. In terms of meter, it will be 0.03 meter into 0.05 meter, 0.0015. And what is a perimeter? Perimeter means this total length. Okay, that means this length, this length, this length, and this length is the, we need total length of this is nothing but 2 times of 0.03 plus 2 times of 0.05. We're going to get 0.16 meter. Perimeter means ಸುತ್ತಳತೆ, ಇದು ಲೆಂತ್, ಟೋಟಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಇದು ಸುತ್ತಳತೆ. Okay, so you're going to get 0.0375. Okay, you know the hydraulic diameter is nothing but 4 times cross section area by perimeter. So 0.0375 meter you're going to get. Once you got this, Q is equal to, you know, for constant surface temperature, Q is equal to HAS LMTD. First, let us calculate what is Q. Okay, Q is nothing but MCB T naught minus Ti. Okay. So, you know, mass flow rate they have given in the data to CP. Okay. See, properties. Okay. Okay, in the properties they have told, they have given in the problem itself 40 degrees Celsius. CP 4.174. Actually, it is kilojoules, I think. It has been missed. Okay. Okay, just add here kilojoules. Okay, they have missed this because water, okay, it will have 4.18 kilojoules per kg Kelvin as the CP value. So they have missed kilojoules. If you take joules, it is 4174 is okay. Otherwise, it is kilojoules only. Okay, so here mass flow rate is 2, correct? No, mass flow rate, where it is mass flow rate, they have given 2 kg per second, and the CP value is 4.17 kilojoules. Okay, that is why we are going to get it in kilowatts, and difference of temperature 30 and 50. Okay, you got Q value. We need to calculate log mean temperature difference delta T1 minus. Okay, I told you delta Ti, delta Te. Okay, instead of that they have written delta T1, delta T2. So ln of delta T1 and delta T2. What is delta T1? It's nothing but 90 minus 30 and 90 minus 50. 90 minus 30 it is 60. 90 minus 50 it is 40. 60 minus 40 by ln of this. Okay, you are going to get this value. So you calculate Q log mean temperature difference. Okay, next we'll calculate the Reynolds number. Okay, for that they have written this formula. Okay, Reynolds number they have done rho into velocity into hydraulic diameter divided by dynamic viscosity. Okay. In this first let us try to calculate what is the velocity. You know, velocity is given by mass flow rate is given by rho a u. Also you can use this 4 m by pi d, that also can be used. So they have calculated velocity using this formula. So velocity is nothing but mass flow rate divided by rho cross section area. Okay, everything you know, just substitute. Reynolds number also you can obtain, because once you got velocity, rho into u into hydraulic diameter divided by mu. Okay, hydraulic diameter also has been calculated. Okay, you are going to get this value which is greater than 2300. That means the flow is turbulent. So the value of Reynolds number you got is 76,000, which is greater than 2300. So the flow is turbulent. And Prandtl number, you know how to calculate mu Cp by K. And also, since the value is greater than 2000, the flow is turbulent. So I told you in the data handbook, you have to use Ditus-Boelter equation, which is nothing but 0.023, Reynolds number to the power of 0.8, Prandtl number to the power of 0.4. See here, they have written Prandtl number to the power of n. Correct now in the data handbook. So n will be equal to 0.4, because this is heating of the fluid, because the temperature is entering at 30 degree and it is coming out at 50 degree. That means water has got heated. So we have to take n is equal to 0.4. Right? Okay, in the data handbook, they have written Prandtl number to the power of n. N will be 0.4 for heating and 0.3 for cooling. Right? Now, okay, so H is equal to K by D. Correct? No? Nusselt number is hd by k of this formula. What is h? Nothing but k by d into this formula. See, k by d, thermal conductivity. How much? What is the thermal conductivity? 0.634. 0.634 divided by hydraulic diameter has been calculated here. No, 0.0375. That has been substituted here. 0.037 into 0.023. Reynolds number you have calculated. Prandtl number also has been calculated. You can obtain the value of H 5628. See, in this formula, we have calculated Q using this formula, okay, and H has been calculated, okay, 5628. Surface area, okay, is required here. Log mean temperature also has been calculated. Okay, we are going to substitute all the values in equation 1, that is this one. Okay, so Q we have obtained here, no? MCP T naught minus T 166,960 watts, that is Q, and here H is nothing but 5628, and surface area is nothing but perimeter into length. How you got this? Perimeter also been obtained here, 0.16 into length. Okay, L, that is what we need to calculate. Surface area is nothing but perimeter into length into log mean temperature difference. How that has been obtained here, 49.32. Substitute, get the value of length, 3.76 meter you are going to get. Okay, that's it.